So I was a few weeks into my trip in Costa Rica, and I was going to be there for 1 month, and I realized that I just wasn't ready to come home yet. I went there with this intention to have a life-changing experience. I wanted to be a different, better version of self by the time I came home, and I was just getting the feeling like that wasn't happening where I was at, staying in this beautiful beachside town in Costa Rica, surfing every day and enjoying life. So, it was then when I met a couple guys in my hostel where I was staying that told me about this spiritual community and retreat center just a few hours away. One had just come from there. The other had plans to spend the next month there, and they were both really encouraging me to check it out. And it sounded like it was right up my alley. So I was curious to learn more, and I looked at the website, and immediately I just got this strong intuitive sensation come over me that, oh my God, this place is going to be magical. I would love to go. But, I had plans to come home, and I don't normally, change my plans like that. My head was giving me, all these reasons to stick with the plan, to play it safe, to stick with, the familiar, and tell these guys, yeah, it sounds really cool, maybe another time. And yet, my heart was telling me something different. Like, without ever having, visited the place or learned all that much, except for just checking out the website, my heart knew that this place was special. And it was not only just special, but a place where on some level I understood that if I just made it there, my wish would be granted, and I would have the magical, special experience that I've been wanting, and all that. So I was faced with this dilemma of, my head versus my heart, trying to figure out this important decision, and it made me think of some of the clients that I've worked with and who've been thinking about changing their careers, where their head will talk them out of taking that leap of faith into the unknown that could be scary and full of danger and unknown possibilities, that also keeps them small, keeps them locked into the comfortable and the familiar. My job has been to help them understand the richness and the magic and the possibilities that exist if they do take that leap of faith. So I knew enough to understand how this works for my clients, but I hadn't actually taken a leap of faith like that in a little while myself. So there I was, knowing that something special, was there for me if I was just willing to overcome my fears and insecurities around taking this risk and venturing into the unknown. And that was it. And with a little bit of reflection, I couldn't help it. I went with my heart on this one. I was debating between the two options: go back to the familiar, go back home and just pick up where I left off with my business and my life, play it safe, make sure nothing falls apart, or there's no disaster waiting for me, or roll the dice, extend my trip by another month, change the flight arrangements, the accommodations, and go to this retreat center for a whole month. I mean, I just couldn't say no. What was I gonna do? Just go home and just work another month? What was that gonna do for me versus having potentially a life-changing experience? So, of course, I chose the life-changing experience, and yes, it was scary. I did have to face a lot of uncertainty. First day I got there, I was all out of sorts. I didn't know where I was. I was in this, community in the middle of the jungle with a bunch of strangers, and I didn't know what I just signed up for. I mean, there are a few cabins for us to stay in, a few, buildings where we might do workshops and stuff, and that was it. It's not like I could just, take off and do whatever I wanted. I was part of the program at that point. But, each day I just kept putting myself out there more and more and more, and taking risks and signing up for, this workshop and that workshop, and going to the meditations at night, and connecting with all the different people in there. And yeah, it was full of challenges. I mean, I was feeling triggered oftentimes. I was so far outside of my comfort zone that it hurt a lot. And at the same time, that whole unique, special experience created the circumstances for a rebirthing for myself, to experience a completely new way of life and get a completely new perspective on things. So I'm eternally grateful that I decided to take that leap of faith. And I encourage all of you who might be in a situation yourself, or maybe at some point in the future, where you're faced with the familiar versus the unfamiliar, where you're feeling that tug of war between your mind and your intuition, and to really listen to your intuition. In my experience, I don't know if I would say it's always right, but when you're thinking about, the heart versus the head, the heart almost always wins out. And this is relevant too for people that might not be satisfied in their jobs or careers, because if you want to go after a life of purpose and passion, which is what I'm all about right now, I've gotten more and more clear since that trip that I want to help people specifically with this. You have to be prepared to take that leap of faith into the unknown, because that's where all the magic is. And that's all I wanted to share today, is just some personal insights into a recent experience where, I had to feel the fear of taking that step into the unknown, and do it anyways, because I just fortunately knew enough at that moment to trust in my intuition and to deny the mind games that had been keeping me safe and small for too long. So if you're hearing this, just know that, the more you take risks in life and you pursue the things that really feel exciting to you, the more magic you're going to experience. And who doesn't want to experience more magic in life? That's what makes life special and amazing and fulfilling, if you ask me. So that's all. Thanks.